Good morning, YouTube. Louie here with the best silver gold deals of Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Let's see what fresh hell they have in store for us today. All right, we have gold down $110 to 4,779, and silver down $1.71 to 83.44, having hit something like 72 in the pre-market and rebounding a full $10. And I am still standing by my buy range of 75 to 95. I think the closer you get to 75, the bigger and better the deal. The closer you get to 95, the worse the deal. I believe, just in a snapshot here really early in this video, that the move in silver over 103 was a completely manufactured move that was taking advantage of FOMO, and I think the people that can make money doing that did that. I think the move over 103 up to 123 was artificial. I don't think silver was ever worth 103 in the short term. In the long term, you can pick any number you want. So I believe that was somewhat of a blow-off top. They pushed it up, and then I also believe they pushed it back down in a coordinated global monkey hammer event. And I think they overshot it, at 72. I think that's an overshoot. So that's where I stand on silver and gold. Also, they're taking the top off gold, but not quite as bad as silver at gold at 4,792. I think there's a natural floor on gold. I don't know exactly where that is, but I would not hesitate to buy gold here over the next month, maybe a little bit at a time. In the futures market, 83.40 in the March futures. Gold-silver ratio, 57.53, so I also think that 43, I think we hit 43, is going to be a low for a long, long time. Again, this is not the consensus opinion. This is I'm a contrarian, if you will, but I do believe that gold is the play for the long term, and silver will continue to demonstrate volatility. I do think we'll get a bounce back here. I think that bounce could take us up to 95. I think it could take us up to 103, and then I think the shorts are going to come back in on silver. For gold, I still believe being a tier 1 asset and being the asset that is primarily used, even though silver is also a tier 1 asset, I still believe there is a floor on gold, driving the gold-silver ratio up over time. And if you want to know, well, of course, you could hope for that it goes back to 43 or possibly lower. Seems like we may go to 60. We may go back to, is there any support here? We may go back to 45 if silver really gets rocking again. We could see 65. Seems to me 61. Might spend some time at 61. And then after that, I think it's probably back to 68. So that's where I see the gold-silver ratio heading. Absent, these tremendous manipulation events engineered to shake all the speculation and the leverage out of the market. I think they're running out of tricks, though, so I think the leverage is out at this point. People lost a lot of money very quickly. That's how it happens in these markets. And now the stackers can get back to what they have done all along. 10-year yield is 4.23, right about flat. Hold on one second, I'm going to sneeze. All right, on the 10-year yield, I have a lot to say about this as well, and again, not mainstream. The appointment of the theoretically more hawkish Fed chairman. Okay, I think this whole story is bullshit. I think this appointment and the way they're spinning it is bullshit, and I think it was only an excuse for the bullion banks to make a lot of money. Okay, theoretically, a more hawkish Fed head, right? Of course, he's only one vote among many, and of course, he has actually a mixed past in terms of his hawkish versus dovish stance. And finally, in terms of the the story that he believes in a smaller Federal Reserve balance sheet, well, he may believe that all he wants, but what in the world is he going to do to control the long rates here? I think the dollar is still headed lower, which is good for metals. I think rates are problematic here on the long end because the story is not the reality. Who's going to buy the 10-year bonds? Who's going to buy them? Our government is going to buy them. That is not going to be reducing the balance sheet. That's going to be increasing the balance sheet. But he is a savvy trader, and maybe he'll get Fannie Mae to start buying bonds. Maybe he'll get all the banks to start buying bonds. Maybe the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve could shrink, but the debt load will not shrink in this country. And when it comes time to cut rates, he's going to snap right to and cut rates. So I think the story is short-lived, and I think it is it has depressed the stock market. I think that is probably short-lived as well. We're about ready for a bounce there, and I think these rates aren't going much lower. And I don't think I do think the dollar is probably going to continue to fade. The dollar, talking about the dollar, is up, right around flat at 97.198, but still in a bearish trend. I do not think that the new Fed head is going to reverse the dollar slide. But they want you to think that at the moment. Okay, copper is down 9 cents to 5.91. Sure took the top off that, didn't they? Matter of fact, all commodities got hammered pretty bad, maybe with the exception of lithium or something like that. And something's going on in South Korea. I'm not sure why their market is limit down, so I didn't catch that story, but a lot of turmoil in the markets right now. We have got, on the gold miners, here we go. Well, 100 was my target. We got up to 110, 115, something like that. On the GDX, the basket of large gold miners, and I suggest you play the baskets, not the individual stocks. We'll probably get a bounce today, maybe back to 103. That would be a long way, wouldn't it? Well, maybe on the high end, 103. If it keeps dropping, probably back down to 90. So I think the major damage has really been done in the miners, but you could pick them up cheaper. Similar for the silver miners. I think you could pick them up cheaper, though we might have a bounce today. Okay, in the economic calendar, we have got at 9:45 Eastern, S&P Flash U.S. Manufacturing Index, ISM Manufacturing, and Auto Sales. Tomorrow is job openings. Day after, ADP employment, and weakening job market probably will give the Fed some cover to drop rates. I want to talk about real interest rates in a minute. Okay, in the pre-markets, we are at the lower end of the greed category on the Fear Greed Index at 57. Dow futures recovered quite a bit, now down 29. S&P futures down 25, NASDAQ futures down 161. Dip buyers, I think, are going to come in here very, very soon. And Bitcoin is still in a bearish trend. Let's see, even though it's 77,911, I think Bitcoin is still going lower. Okay, here we are on the website, bestsilvergolddeals.com. Welcome, new members, subscribers, and people just passing by, and anybody I haven't pissed off so far, just with my contrarian views. I'm glad to have you here, and please give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. It's only one voice in the crowd. All right, and let's move on to, one thing, the question of the day. And I promised you guys new silver for you channel members, and here it is. I poured a new bar, and there it is, the new Tree of Life. I'll call it a token. It is 2 ounces. I tried to get this to an even weight of 2 ounces. And if anybody would like to pick up 1 or 2 of those, you can certainly do so at $2.50 over spot. Just reach out to me at losinglouis@yahoo.com, and we'll get you all set up with an eBay order. Very, very pretty. Okay, guys, that's it. For you new guys, if you haven't got any of my poured silver yet. And I do this for the community. I don't make money. I actually lose money on this when you pick these up. So Up to you if you want poured silver or not. Nobody does anymore, but that's there for you guys if you want one of my limited pieces. All right, let's move on to the deals. Alrighty. In the ratios, the ratio I have added to the website is the Federal Reserve 1-year real interest rate. And a lot of people think that real interest rates move gold. Silver, a somewhat different dynamic. It's kind of on a rubber band with gold up and down. But in terms of real interest rates, that would be generally the 1-year interest rate versus minus inflation. All right, the real interest rate, how much the government is paying you versus how much you're losing through inflation. Here is the AI overview. They say it probably better than I could. Real interest rates, nominal rates, minus inflation have a strong inverse relationship with gold prices. All right, so that is all you need to know, and then we'll go back to the real inverse relationship. Okay, so the higher the real rate, the lower typically gold is. The lower the rate, the higher gold is. All right, because there's a carrying cost for gold, unless you're invested in monetary metals, for example, where they do pay a return on gold. But so generally, you can see why gold has been rallying as real interest rates have been dropping. And here we are at the flat line. We'll have to see what happens after this. Inflation, by the government's measurement, tricky inflation, has been dropping, and the rates, the 1-year rate, has not come down as much. You may want to do this with 5-year rates or a treasury yield or something like that. You can do whatever you want. But there you go, the inverse relationship, the real interest rates dropping, gold shooting up like a rocket. And if you think inflation is coming back, that may change that story. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get on to the deals. That's why you came. All the links have changed. A lot of buying overnight, I believe, or over the weekend. And now we're kind of back to square one here. Let's do 1 gram gold in assay. That is 183 at Summit Metals. Let's go on to a 1/10 gold eagle. That is 548 at BGASC, and you better believe people want fractional gold here. A 1/10 gold maple is 536 at Summit Metal. Everything BU unless I say otherwise or they fool me. Here is a ducat, 0.11 something ounces of gold, 559 for foreign gold. Good price on that over at Monument Metals. Moving on to a 1/4 ounce gold eagle. 1/4 ounce gold eagle is 1321 at Monument Metals. Yes, everything is cheaper. Here's a new 5 gram offering over at Summit Metals. Oh, I didn't. Well, it's this one right here at 820 for 5 grams. Take 5 over 31.1 and you'll get the melt on that. Or 31.1 over 5, I should say. 1/2 ounce gold eagle is over at Monument Metals for 2,545. All right, let's keep going here to a 1 ounce gold eagle, 4,875. Well, it sure beats 5,700. So, yeah, the buy price on gold eagles down at least $500. Gold taking a nice hit, giving us a point to get back in. Does it go to 4,300? I don't think so. I don't think so. I said there was 10% downside in gold, and there was more than that. But I don't think I'm that wrong on that prediction. Okay, a gold buffalo is cheaper as well at 5,038 over at Summit Metals. Moving on to the St. Gaudens, that's an example of something that's out of stack. The really pretty and really cheap double eagle. BU double eagle is gone, but the Liberty Head is still there at 4,769. That should be pretty cheap, pretty close to spot, I believe. Krugerrand is a good buy over at Summit Metals at 4,834. And let's keep going, and gold is going to be flopping all over the place. Let's see. 4,834 versus 4,755. Well, it's $80 over spot. Is silver gone down? Yeah, silver back to 81.68. We'll have to see how the market plays out today. Of course, they raised margin requirements yet again, just trying to, depress that price both here and Shanghai. The last video I saw said Shanghai spot prices were $100. So yes, there is a premium in Shanghai from all available sources. But no, it is not $130, even though our spot price is whatever, 80, 85. So these markets are moving together, and physical is more valuable than paper. But if you were hoping for 138 in Shanghai, I don't think you're going to see that. Okay, 20 franc. 20 franc is going to be 0.1867 ounce of gold at $896. And is that cheap? Is it 0.1867? Let's start there. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yes, it is. So let's do the math on that. I don't typically go to silver.com. 896. Some of the cheap ones may have been bought out. Divided by 0.1867 is 47.99 against a spot price of 40. Oh yeah, that's very, very cheap. So there's a good example of something you can buy today, and it is gold. Gold is gold, all right? And there are different tax consequences for some U.S. gold versus foreign gold, etc. It doesn't usually affect us little guys. So gold is gold. Buy the cheaper gold, buy the lower premium gold if you want to get in here at a cheap price. If you love your gold eagles, love your gold eagles. I learned something, and I think I called the market pretty well. I mean, my red light was on for like most of the last month, thinking these prices were too elevated. But I actually learned something. Well, you know my theory of you sell on the way up, you sell while the dealers' buyback prices are decent, not perfect, right? You're never going to get everything you want. But what I learned was I was holding back my Silver Eagles for FOMO to drive those premiums higher. And I think they will. But, however, I could have sold my Silver Eagles at $120 an ounce and bought them back today at 90. So, I learned something about holding on too hard to the best stuff. Because markets have a way. Here's the thing: spot price trumps your affection for a certain type of silver. Now, I got over that with my Libertads, and I did sell a lot of Libertads right at the top, so I'm happy about that. Those are harder to buy back, though, than the Silver Eagles. So if I had it to do over again, I would actually let go of a lot of my Silver Eagles, and that's what I learned over the last dip. Everything else was just fine. And, we probably could have sold a little gold here as well. That's taken a pretty good haircut, but I don't fear holding gold. Let's do platinum coin. So I don't know if that helps you at all. Maybe, you learn something. I have to admit when I'm wrong. I was actually wrong about that. Platinum Maple 2002.86 at Golden Eagle, and I still think 50% of the gold price is the appropriate price for platinum, and you'll get it much cheaper today if that's what you're buying. I should have sold my platinum as well. I think I told you I was thinking about it, but I never did. Okay, here we go for a Silver Eagle. They are 93.85 at Bold Precious Metals. And that is that's a $10 premium. So the market has bifurcated again and again. Now there are 4 different markets. I mean, we got the Shanghai market. Let's take our eyes off of that, okay? That's a FOMO story. May be true, may not be true. Silver imbalance is a true story, but it may not matter in the short term. It'll matter in the long term. But we had, we have the local coin shops who can't sell their silver because the refineries are full of silver and they're processing 1,000-ounce bars as fast as they can. I imagine they'll catch up in 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so they can't sell it, therefore the local coin shop is a good place to buy. At the same time, we've got a dip happening here, which buyers love dips. I love dips. And I would have bought at 72 had I been awake and could have bought something cheap at that price. But I'd be more likely to buy, SLV at 72 equivalent than I would buy physical at 72 because the premiums, right? But that was an overnight thing that everybody misses. And but the buyers, I got sidetracked there. The buyers still want silver and they still want gold. The FOMO is very much alive. And I think you're still going to see a bunch of buying. Prices have been higher on eBay than I expected. Prices are higher online than I expected. Buyback prices are improving online, so that's a good thing. At the local coin shop, before they sell everything and move to Hawaii, they're going to have some silver for sale very cheap because they can't refine it. So there'll be substantial buy volume at the local coin shop, and the market is equalizing. All these different things are equalizing. The refineries are catching up, or will catch up, right? The dealers will start paying more because buyers will want to buy the dip. The local coin shop will be able to sell more, and their prices will be rising over time now that we're kind of, let's say we got a 75 floor on silver. We could be in this range of 75 to 95 for a few weeks. Things are going to stabilize here, so you're going to have to be very careful where you buy and go where it's going to be cheaper. I think it's going to be cheaper at the local coin shop if you have one that really needs liquidity and you bring in a big wad of cash. Here's a Silver Eagle for you for $93.85, but you better believe people are buying the hell out of these on eBay. So that may be the place to buy your Silver Eagles if you believe that is a tier one stacking coin. The only coin, well, not the only one, Libertads were another one, but virtually the only coin that was bringing near full spot price as we got to $123, and that ain't no lie. So, and that's why people are buying the hell out of these on the dip buying. Maybe we'll find something on eBay, maybe we won't, I don't know. Let me keep going here. Cull Silver Eagles, no good deals out there. Yeah, can't find anything decent. And 75 to 95 is my range on silver, and 4,700 to 5,000 is my range on gold. I think we'll be stuck at those levels for a while, and I don't think we get over 103 silver for a while. I think we'll retest it possibly. Maybe we'll stop at 95. Maybe we'll stop at 100. I think we will be in a long-term stacking mode here for at least a few months. A silver maple, which may be good news to you new guys. Let's see, $92 for a silver maple at bullion exchanges. The twin maple is cheaper for 2 ounces at $175 at Monument Metals. I like that. We can get a kangaroo. What is it, like 91 or something? $90 for a kangaroo at Hero. A Britannia, that's because silver fell back since I started doing this. Oh, Britannias are 92. That did not get cheaper. Krugerrand is going to be 89.46 at Summit. Okay, getting better. A Philharmonic is going to be 92. I might have missed that one this morning. Noah's Ark coin is all gone. You guys bought those up. They are Dunsville, and now you're going to have to pay 92 for one of those, which I wouldn't do. It's a one-off sovereign coin. I would, when it's $4 cheaper than the others, I would buy it. Now it's gone. It's not cheap anymore. And if you want a 1 ounce Libertad, did I find one this morning? I did, $98. These are probably mine. Probably the ones I sold to Summit. Anyway, you can pick these up at $98 this morning with spot at 83. That's a $16 premium. But I wouldn't pay more for a Libertad than I would for a Silver Eagle if somehow you can snake out a deal like that. I like the 2 ounce circulateds, not because they're going to be beautiful, but because they're going to be nice silver, nice 2 ounce silver, maybe somehow impaired, I'm not sure, but $171. Not a bad way to stack a whole bunch of silver. I had a whole lot of 2 ounce coins in my stack. I traded a lot of those out to you, a lot of you guys, especially Queen's Beast stuff, which carries a nice premium for those that have it. Over on Costco, okay, to remind you, the results that I click up here on the you know, I've clicked the delivery option here, so this should apply to all United States, but your local Costco may have things that I don't see here. This one says see details, so it's out of stock, so there's nothing at Costco this morning, and that will typically be your best place to buy big gold. So from time to time, they'll have that 25-gram pack, like this one right here. When that comes up, that's always a good deal. Let's get on to junk. Now, this is very interesting. Okay. With silver at 82, according to Monument anyway, we've got junk at 54.9 times face. I think that's about $5 under, something like that. But their buy price went up. So just to give you the chronology of Monument, you could have sold your junk to Monument for $5 back of spot a few weeks ago. Then when prices started ratcheting up, they went to, and the refiners filled up, they went to $10 back of spot. Over the weekend, they were $20 back of spot. You would never sell it at that price, right? Have your head examined if you're doing that. But they just increased their buy price on junk to $13 back of spot. So I don't know if that's better than your LCS or, you know, whatever, if you're even looking for that. But the direction we're going says more buyers are going to step in here and their buy prices will be coming up if you missed the last selling opportunity. Let's keep going here and we'll do rounds. Not that great. 80, 85. Well, okay, $3 over at Golden Eagle for rounds. Let's see, 10-ounce bars if you're looking for an assortment of bars. I'm sorry, this is 872 at Silver Gold Bull. Over at Monument, you've got an assortment if you want to try to buy the good stuff. The Elemental Dragon Hex is 883. Random bars, 886. Hard to find the Germanium Mint stuff. Pre-order a Kookaburra at $8.97. 10-ounce kooks. $90 an ounce. I don't know. No shot, man. I can't find shot anywhere. You guys really took my advice on that one. Cleaned them out. Let's see. This is a new customer deal. New customers, look for the new customer deals. Here we go for a kilo, a little cheaper at $27.82. Still too much for my blood. Shot, can't find it. 100-ounce bars getting cheaper. They are $85.22, about $3 over spot. You don't want the 100-ounce bars anymore. They just need to melt them all. I mean, unless you're doing vintage, and hopefully they don't melt those. You'll find some of my vintage bars out there in the wild. Couldn't trade them in the community. So they just went back to the dealers. So there you go. All right, I'm missing my vintage bars. Let's see. We got the Mayflower round coming up on Thursday. Mayflower coin coming up on Thursday. I think that'll sell out very fast. You could double your money on it. I don't know. I'm not impressed with the aftermarket prices. But you might see a double on those PD rolls. Okay, there you go. Now we're on eBay. All right, for eBay, we are going to use our PayPal credit card or our American Express Everyday Cash credit card. Links are on my website. Check out through PayPal. You'll need a PayPal account, either one of those two cards. Default to those cards. Check out only through PayPal, and you'll be able to score 3% back. If you got a better card, link that one and do better. So that's how that works. And we're going to try to find lower prices here like we do every single day until I die or I give up. Here we go. Important disclosure. The following products offered through eBay contain links generated by the eBay Partner Network that may provide some compensation to this website if used to purchase a recommended item over a short period of time. This income helps support the website and in no way increases the cost of these products to you. So help a Louie out. Okay, let's keep going here. And let's do the Silver Eagles. All right. I don't know if my lower boundaries are correct anymore. Yeah. There's so much work here when we have these massive changes. 1907. Yeah, I know you guys are buying the hell out of Silver Eagles because you learned, right? If you didn't have a quarter of your stack in Silver Eagles, you had to take a $10 haircut on those Buffaloes. The other lesson I learned is 25% in Silver Eagles is not enough because you don't want to sell them all. I should have had 50% in Silver Eagles. Should have had 50%, not 25, and I should have sold some. Okay, let's see. This is M-Bar. These are BU Silver Eagles at 1907. Let's do the Matherino on that. Maybe you'll like this price. And I do think you could buy this morning. Divided by 20. First price, 95 times 0.97 with a good rebate. And you are at 92.50 for Silver Eagles out the door. 92.50 versus the dealer price. Oh, give us a deal here, guys. We deserve it. They just ripped us off big time. 92.50 versus you right there in a tube of 20. 90. This is what's going on eBay. Oh man, no deal on the Silver Eagles. How about a large lot? Dealer beat us. Dealer beat us. Large lot is going to be... Is my limit set too low? No. Look at that. The original limit I set for Silver Eagles was $3,000. Oh my gosh. Let's see. We can get Eagles for 95 out the door, about 93 something. No, the dealer is better today. You see, people are going to eBay and paying too much now. Boy, how quickly that changed. We got to find something cheap here. We'll find it. Let's do a tube of maples, 25 in a tube. Tube of maples is going to be is going to be $22.93 on the cheat sheet. That is $89.24. Nope, too much. So that price, $22.93 is too high. Let's try to find something cheaper. $22.93 versus Britannia's at $2,900. No, versus I did Britannia's. 2,900, did it twice. Kangaroos are going to be... What? No kangaroos? I don't know what's going on with that. No kangaroos? People like kangaroos? Let's go on to Krugerrands. Boy, what's going on here? 24.38. There's a better number. No, is it? 24.38 is going to be $95 out the door. No, I don't like that either. What's going on eBay? If you got stuff to sell, guys, and you don't mind eBay fees, eBay is the place to sell it. Here's a tube of 20 for 93. About 90 out the door on the Philharmonics. That's about a push. Strike out. Okay, we struck out on silver completely so far. How about junk? How cheap can we get Grandpa's junk? My gosh, should have took today off. Let's see. We want $10 face. Right there, 57.5. And they are Benjis. Fine. Just fine. Free shipping, big seller, good feedback. And 57.6. I don't know if this will beat or not. 0.6 times 0.97 gets you to 55.8 divided by 0.715. You are at 78 with a spot price of 83. No. No. Oh my gosh. We can't even get cheap junk today. How about a large lot of junk? Right there. Maybe the dealers will let this go. It's going to be 5,000 what? We want a $100 bag to make the math easy. 53.79. That would be about 52.20 over at the dealer. 52.20 times face. Over at the dealer, they're charging 53.90. I swear. Wow. Okay, I mean, you save a little, but that's just not worth eating up all your rebates. I don't know. How about a tube of Morgans, maybe? I don't know. 1 ounce Libertads? Did those get cheaper? No, there aren't any. People buying those up. Oh, I'm striking out, guys. How about a 5 ounce lib? 5 ounce Libertad is 118 an ounce, about 115 out the door. No, can't buy that. How about a kilo? How about a kilo? Okay, 28.36. Is that for real? Of course, you know I'd get the vintage bar. 28.36. 28.36 times 0.97 is 27.50. Over at the dealer, a kilo is 27.90. 40 bucks isn't going to move me. Let's keep going. Wow, slim pickings. How about 1 ounce rounds? 1 ounce rounds for you Buffalo boys. Let's see. That's the one thing I never stacked was buffaloes. What I would do is go to the local coin shop and ask for his secondary market rounds, and that is where I got all of those trade units I gave you guys, all from the local coin shop. Why would I stack a buffalo when I could stack a 40-year-old round? Anyway, that was me. Scottsdale Reserve, 88. Ooh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Scottsdale coughing it up. I don't know if they'll ever bring up their buy prices over at Scottsdale. They used to be one of the best buyers. But here we got 88.63. I think I like that if you got big money. Hopefully you put some money aside when you were cashing out. Trade some for gold, put some money aside, pay down your mortgage, whatever, use that windfall. 85.97, and the dealer best price at the dealers is this one, I believe, at 85. All right, well, all I can say about that is very nice rounds for about the same price as the secondary rounds. Maybe we can find a small lot of 20 for you. What is with all these higher prices on eBay? This blows my whole dynamic here. Get past the jewelry, and there we go. 20 rounds for 1773. That would be 93, about 91 out the door. No. 1773 times 0.97 is 1719 divided by 20. Your out the door price is 85. That's about a push. Can we get some silver shot? Out of stock. Oh my God, am I striking out? I just struck out completely. How about some peace dollars? A tube of peace dollars maybe for about 75 a piece. That's okay. I wouldn't mind that. We got to go on to the gold here, guys. I just totally struck out with silver. In terms of eBay being cheaper, and failing to be cheaper at the moment, I haven't seen that since the silver squeeze, the Reddit monkey squeeze. I haven't seen that forever. This is the first time in at least a couple of years that I've been doing this that I haven't seen eBay prices basically the same as the dealer prices after the 3% rebate. So the newbies are flocking to eBay to buy stuff. Really, really strange. Now we have another bifurcation in this market. 1/100th gold. Maybe we'll get that cheap today. Can't buy silver, buy some gold. 62 bucks or a best offer. And $5 shipping. Oh, he beat it up too. What'd you do to that thing? Put it in your pocket? Anyway, a little cheaper than the dealer. Let's see. Here's another one for 65. You get that out the door at 63 maybe. Is there shipping? $3 shipping. Fair enough. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's go on to a 1/10th Gold Eagle. Let's see if we can work our magic on Gold Eagles. Somehow I think we won't. Is that a proof? That is a platinum proof. Let's see. 530 or best offer. And see, that's the good stuff, the Roman numeral one. I've got a whole set of those, all the fractionals, that I got from an inheritance, actually. Let's see. 1986 Roman numeral. We are at 535. He'll take a best offer. Let's say you get it for 525. Work this guy a little bit. 525. Dealer, paying no more than spot for that. 525 times 0.97. And he's only got one, so an early bird's going to catch this worm. 509 dealer price. Oh, let me find something for you this morning. 509 versus the dealer price of 544. Oh, finally. Finally, channel members. Okay, that's what you're looking for. I don't know what's up with his picture. He's got a shitty... What the hell? What the hell? Oh, it's in the slab. So he took a poor picture through the slab. Whose slab is that? Oh, dude, you're confusing me with the slab. Generic slab? Well, he's got 100% feedback. I would check that for authenticity on your precious metals verifier or at your local coin shop, but that's very, very cheap. If you want to take a flyer on that one, let's find another cheap one. Here's another one at 550. Oh, this one's from Pinehurst. Oh, smoking. Okay, all the 10th ounce gold eagles you want, way below market. If we get over to Pinehurst and check the price, I'm going to do the math again. 550, 550 times 0.97. 533 on this one, but as many as you want. Get over your sales tax limits. At the cheapest price at the dealers, 544 versus 533. So there's one really cheap and another one under market. And of course, gold, it's in a buy zone here. So we did okay on the 10th ounce. All right, maybe it was worth watching the video. Let's go on to the quarter ounce gold eagle and see if anybody is giving away one of those. Here we go, Modern Coin Mart. Okay, I know you guys like to play with them. 1346. Let's get the math on that out the door. 1346 times 0.97 equals 1305. The cheapest price on the internet this morning was 1309. No score on the quarter ounce. Save your rebates. Maybe half ounce be better. Yikes, such slim pickings, guys. 2568. 2568 times 0.97 equals 2490. Cheapest price on the internet is 2523. Oh, save 33 bucks on a half ounce. Okay, that one's okay. Right there. 1348 on their website is probably 1500, so might as well get it cheaper. Take those off their hands. How about the big proof gold set? Anybody throwing one of those away? 92.74. This might be a good deal. It was the other day. 92.74 times 0.97 is going to be 89.95 divided by 1.85 to get the melt, and you're at 48.62. Spot price is 4. Oh, it went back down. Oh no, taking a ride down again. 46.96. Wow, gold went down. What'd they do to silver? Down to 80 bucks. Oh gosh, thought it was gonna rally. All right, I got to give up here pretty soon. Maybe a $5 commemorative. Disappointing, huh? Very disappointing. 1/10 Gold Eagle. Who are you? You are a big seller. Good feedback. And that looks fine at 647. Didn't I already do these? I don't know. I think I already did those. What am I looking for here? A $5 commemorative. 1219. 1219. These prices ought to start coming down on eBay. Times 0.97. 1182 over at the dealer. $5 commemorative is Okay, 1168. Our price was, yeah, dealer beat me again. Dealers are dropping their prices faster than eBay. Alrighty, well, I think I'll wrap it up there. There's a precious metals verifier if you need one. I'd buy a second-hand one if you can find one. Mine works just fine. I got it for 750. Just watch for somebody, moving out of the hobby, selling one secondhand. That's pretty pricey at 11.79, and they're out of stock at that. There's a vacuum sealer to go ahead and seal that silver and put it away till things change around here. I do think we're going to see a rally back up, but I think it will be, when we have it, I think it will be shorted. I think we could be in this 75 to 75 to 95 zone for a while on silver. We'll have to see what happens today. There's your Amex 3% back card. There's your PayPal 3% cash bar. There are the two cards I love at Capital One. Not so much for precious metals, though. And there's monetary metals. Great time to buy into monetary metals on this dip. Great time, in my opinion. But you need $30,000. And that is a big chunk of change. Over in the chat room, let's see what's going on there. Thank you for the cups of coffee, and thank you for joining my membership. Don't forget about that bar if you want one or two of those. And over in the chat room, boy, things change fast in this hobby, don't they? We have got, let's see, Provident Metals has something on sale. Click the link. Lucy's to open. Oh, they're just talking about buying and selling, whatnot, pure precious metals, eBay. A friend of mine told me that Vermilion is buying again, so that's a good sign. I think you'll see some of the buy prices come up. So hopefully buy prices come up, the spot price, goes back up to 95 or 100, and before we top out, you do any selling you want to do. Maybe you want to recalibrate your stack. Remember I was saying to do that? In the 40s. I'm okay holding gold, but still got more silver than gold, got to tell you. I don't know. I could keep talking, but I don't think I have anything new to say, so I will bid you adieu. See you guys later.